It's day 12. I've got a new self-isolation challenge for you, and this one's going to be a burner. Whether you are a beginner or even a CrossFit veteran, this workout's going to be tough. It's not going to sound tough until you actually start doing it. And I'm figuring about middle of the round, you're going to be pretty exhausted, especially if you decide to up your movements for this particular workout. So we're going to start with a description of the easiest, the most simple version of this workout. So here's what it is. It's going to look real easy when you look at it. It's going to be AMRAP, so as many rounds and reps as possible, of 12 walking lunges, 12 crunches, and 12 push-ups. So we've done variations of each of these movements scattered throughout some of the other workouts, but now we're going to combine them. It's only 3 movements. We're on day 12, so I figured, hey, why not lean into the theme a little bit and give us 12 minutes of 12 movements of each of these movements. So the walking lunges is the beginner version of this particular movement. So all you're going to do is you're looking to take a step forward. You don't have to go all the way down to the floor. You're really just looking to tax one leg at a time relative to the other. So it can be as deep into a lunge as you can go. If you can get all the way down with your knee to the floor, great. So you're going to alternate legs. So it's 12 total, 6 per leg. So again, doesn't sound so bad. Do them at tempo so that you get your heart rate up a little bit. Second movement, 12 crunches. So again, this is a beginner level movement. It's a variation on the sit-up. For those of you that don't have the strength or range of motion to be able to get all the way to an upright position when starting on your back. So you're still going to start on your back, and your crunch is just going to be to rise your shoulders off the floor. It's that simple. There's where you're going to start. Then in the third movement, push-ups. So just like we've done before, you're going to use wall or a counter in order to minimize the percentage of body weight that you have to press. So you can even use the wall. So if I use my rig as the stand-in for the wall, again, let's assume that I've got a wall here. The further out I walk my legs, the more of my body weight I'm going to take. The closer in my legs are, the less body weight I'm going to take. So I would press and up. So the important thing here is to keep your abdominals tight and basically squeeze your butt so that everything winds up staying tight and your entire body moves just like a board. Okay? So those are the 3 movements in their simplest form. Now I'll talk about how you can scale these up to make them even more difficult, especially when you've got these movements combined with one another. So you've got a lower body movement, a middle body movement, and an upper body movement, one after the other, for 12 reps of each for 12 rounds. Let's look at the walking lunges. What do I suggest for an alternate to the walking lunge? Well, you've got 2 choices here. Either you can accelerate them quite a bit by making them jumping walking lunges or switch lunges. So you wind up coming up from this lower lunge position, spring up and come back down very quickly into the opposite side, and alternating this way. The other alternative is to simply do walking lunges with a little bit of weight on your shoulders. So if you've got dumbbells, kettlebells, or just a heavy object that you can hold in front of you, just as long as you keep your chest up so that you're not tipping forward and putting pressure on your low back. Just, I've got my dumbbells here, so let's say I want to do something like this. I can just do the regular walking lunge, but with a little bit of weight on my body. So that's the variation for the walking lunge. For the crunch, obviously a sit-up is a logical progression upward from that. So instead of stopping with your shoulders coming off the floor, you can do a functional sit-up, which is get up quickly. I want my shoulders to pass where my hip hinge is, all the way to a seated position, and then back down again. If you are one of the lucky folks out there that has a pull-up bar or something that you can hang from to allow you to do something like a hanging knee raise, then I would encourage you to substitute that one in as well. So something like a hanging knee raise, make sure that you've got an active shoulder position, bring your knees up nice and high relative to your body, and if you're so inclined, the CrossFitters out there, Toes to bar works as well. So you've got lots of variations on that middle movement. Final movement, your push-ups. You can go all the way down to the floor. Again, all you have to do is go with a lower surface for your push-up. Just make sure that your elbows are into your body and not flared way out here. Because out here, a completely different set of muscles are working, and they're going to die off a lot faster than if you turn your hands out this way and allow your elbows to pass by your body, thereby allowing you to use the big muscles of your back to help support that press along with your chest, rather than the backs of your arms doing the work. So do a push-up from the floor or off of a really low elevated surface, or if you're so inclined and you want to do something a little bit harder, add a little bit of extra range of motion by using handles. Use your dumbbells or two objects that allow you to come down a little bit deeper and bring your chest closer to the floor, down this way. And if you want to make it even harder, prop your feet up somewhere, like I can with this box. Same thing, full extension, only now all of a sudden, because you're tipped down instead of up, you're taking even more of your body weight rather than less. So those are the three movements, variations on each. Make this one challenging for yourself. Pick whichever variation of the movement is most difficult for you for this one, and just slow your tempo down, because you're at this for 12 minutes. There's no reason to go out hot and do a ton of these movements super fast. Instead, I would suggest pick a tempo that you can really just chip away at, nice and slow, nice and even. Keep your tempo and try to hold it all the way through the 12 minutes. Be sure to take a break or two in between each round, something that allows you to get your breath back, maybe grab a little bit of water, whatever allows you to keep moving, just do that. So this is day 12. It's 12 minutes of work, 12 reps of each movement. It's going to be a bit of a burn, so give it a try. Be sure to connect to me on social media. At BoxJumper40 is my handle on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. These workouts and a lot more information wind up being released that way, because I do host a podcast that's all about fitness and health. I'm working on getting the next interview, guest interview, in the next few days, so I hope to have a new episode of the podcast out next week. So be sure to watch for that. In the meantime, send me a little bit of feedback. Send me an email at info@boxjumper.ca to let me know what you think of these workouts. I've only got 2 planned left, but it doesn't mean that, this self-isolation thing looks like it's going to be lasting a little while longer, so I hope to be able to release some more workouts as well. And, let me know how things are going for you, whether or not this is really helping for you. I'm trying to make these workouts as accessible as possible. I think I've mentioned already before that I'm designing these with my mom in mind, and then I'm scaling them up for whoever else might be following along. So give it a try, send me some feedback, and I'll be back tomorrow with another workout, lucky number 13. Talk to everybody soon. Thanks.